Hi, everyone. My name is Jackie Wright, and I'm honored to be the guest of the San Francisco Black Film Festival live talk at SFBFF. And of course, for SFBFF, it's the BFF that really matters because you are our best friends forever. So thank you for joining me. We are so pleased to have the family that we're going to be talking about. And speaking of family, what I really love about the San Francisco Black Film Festival, it is a family affair. It is a place where best friends come together and just look at the different films from the African diaspora. And as many of you know, the film festival was begun by arts impresario Ave Montague. And then her son, Callie O'Ray, took over. And then unfortunately, as life would happen sometimes, Callie died unexpectedly due to an undetected heart problem back in August of 2020 in the height of the pandemic. And that was just a few weeks before Chadwick Boseman also died in that August of that particular year as well. And so it is my honor for me to be working with my third generation, that is Cree Ray and Callie Ray Jr., who've taken over the work of their grandmother and their father. So you could say that the San Francisco Black Film Festival is a family affair. And speaking of family, we think about the fact that it is always on the weekend of Father's Day. It is always during the time of Juneteenth, even when the rest of the nation wasn't recognizing Juneteenth. And it is always in June, which is Music Month, Black Music Month at that. So with me today, I have David Batiste, who is from NOLA's Royal Family of Music. So David, we're so glad to have you here with us. And we expect that your son Damon may be joining us as well to make it a wonderful Black Music Month affair. And then also recognizing Father's Day as well with having the father and son. So welcome. And we so appreciate your being here, David.
Well, it's an honor to be here. As my father would say, come on, say va to everybody. Yes. I'm honored to be here, and a pre-happy Father's Day to all the guys that this coming Father's Day, you know, and the grandfathers too.
Exactly. And I understand you're in your car, you're a man on the move, on the move, and you are in Foley, Alabama, and your son, Damon, who is going to be joining us, is in South Africa, Johannesburg, to speak up at this particular time. So we really appreciate this because you guys are a very famous family in New Orleans. And then you also have a family member that is bringing a lot of notice, not only to New Orleans and the world, but your family as well, the Batiste family, in light of Jon Batiste.
Yes.
Everybody sees pretty much weekly, Monday through Friday at the late night with Stephen Colbert. So, wow.
I just watched it last night.
You guys come from a very rich environment. And I think it's appropriate that you are the New Orleans Royal Family of Music because like the Royals, there's a lot of you. And then also the treasure that you have is actually the talent and everything. So David, how did all of this begin with the family and the music?
Well, you know, it's sort of a long story as that cliche would go, but my father started it when he bought the first musical instrument to the family, which was the piano. And with that piano, maybe 1944, 45, he brought that piano into the house, and I was born in 1947. So at the age of maybe 4 or 5 years old, I was banging on that piano. And the live music from that point on, it just stuck with me. And my father supported it. My mother supported it, supported all of us, all 7 of us. Mom and dad had 7 boys. And 4 of us turned out to be musicians. And our children turned out to be musicians. That's John. That's Michael's son. That's bringing all this attention to our family. In fact, I think John and Michael, and them, I just got a call this morning. It was with Bill Gates yesterday. Bill Gates and Dwayne Wade having dinner. So, but it all started with my dad.
Wow! And from one generation to the next, and that is your nephew and everything. And yeah. I recall that your nephew also won an Academy Award for a film, Soul, the music
yes.
that he provided for it.
Yes.
And, as I saw that,
yes.
It made me think of you in terms of the work that you do. You guys are you don't just play music, but you impart your music. As a matter of fact, I'd love for us to take a look at some of your work at Bunch Elementary School, the things that
it's all started.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, outside of our house, the band was formed at Bunch Village Junior High School. And it was the first African-American junior high school in Jefferson Parish. Of course, in Louisiana, we have parishes, and different states have counties and stuff. But in Jefferson Parish, it was hard, very hard for African-Americans at some point. But my dad got us through it. As I said, he opened up the first hardware store in Jefferson Parish, and Hope the grocery store, and helped to feed his 7 sons, him and my mom. So it started with Pops.
Yeah, well, we're gonna take a look at the result of Pop's work. You're still pouring into other people and youth as well. Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's do it. This is how we used to line up. Yeah. And the teachers was just, we really? Just like that. Yeah.
Really? We're gonna do 2 things. We don't have a lot of time. We've made a movie for you. It celebrates his nephew Jon's Grammy performance from Sunday. Jon Batiste from Kenner, Louisiana won 5 Grammys on Sunday.
Wow.
That you see that little keyboard that he's playing on TV? It's called a melodica. It's called a melodica. Y'all clap your hands.
That is so awesome, just to see the great work that you're doing. You're from the Academy Awards, from the Batiste Family to elementary school. You're
Yes.
just making a difference and everything. And how significant do you think it is for you to pour into young people and to give back in the way that your family does?
Well, my dad and mom always showed us how to be respectful and be very humble. And we enjoy the art of music and entertainment, and how you can incorporate that with so many things. So incorporating with education and working with kids, leading them up a positive path, and showing them that if we could do it, they could do it. And as my father always said, if you see somebody doing something, David, that's positive, you can do it. I met Alan Toussaint while I was going to that same Bunch Village Junior High School. And outside of the playing in the house and banging on the piano, when Alan came to the school, that showed me the effect of playing the piano outside the house in front of other people. And I started playing the piano at school after that. after Alan left our school and formed the band, David Batiste and the Gladiators.
David Batiste and the Gladiators. And there you have it. You know, it's a family affair, it's friends, it's community when it comes to the Batiste family. And it's just really interesting, just the way you said that you were influenced by someone, you're beginning with your father and your mother in the first place,
Yes.
and just pouring it to other people as well. And you guys are really not only giving back in the New Orleans area, but also around the world because of your love for the African diaspora and everything.
Oh, boy, that's great. Yeah, we, my son Damon called me up 1998. Called me up on the phone and said, "Hey, Dad, I want you to come with me to South Africa." Just out of the sky. I mean, he was doing some wonderful things, but said, "Dad, I want you to come to South Africa." And I said, "South Africa? I'm coming." And that was it. And 1998 was my first trip, right 4 years after Mandela was freed from prison. Damon had already met him and invited me to come to South Africa, and I've been going there since 1998, backward and forth.
That is awesome.
But Damon's been there 80 times, so I haven't touched 80 trips to South Africa.
Yes, I read that somewhere that he'd been there over 80 times now, and he's in South Africa right now in Johannesburg.
As we speak.
So, yeah, we're hoping that he can be able to dial in. He was with us earlier, but there was a little technical glitch, and he, you know, we kind of lost him. But why don't we take this moment and look at Jazz Fest 2022, because it's the African diaspora brought to New Orleans. So let's take a look at that.
Great.
The background, say that. You want to do like percussive stuff and I'll do the work?
Tomorrow, when on stage, there will be a time where I'm gonna ask individually to just give me a solo. So you don't have to play it now, but I'm just giving you a heads up. When I feel that energy on stage, so it's just gonna be.
So today our show is actually dedicated to Black indigenous people of color. Congo Square, the African diaspora. And we have brought the African diaspora officially to Congo Square. Give it up for the African diaspora, y'all. And all the ancestors that couldn't be here today.
Yes.
Wow,
Boy,
wow.
that
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 video
was so much
says a
fun.
lot. It says a lot, because that image of you with that young child, yet another generation that you were bringing to the stage, it just almost brought a little bit of tears to my eyes, where there you are in the middle of a performance and you are demonstrating what you're all about, and that is giving and pouring into other people and starting with that next generation. So that was a
Absolutely.
beautiful piece, and it was the African diaspora that you brought to New Orleans, and that was Damon that was making the announcements.
Yeah, that's his baby. That was his, that was his show. He said,
Yeah.
Daddy, I'm gonna put you, he said, Daddy, go to work. That's it. Once he says that, I'm in business.
Okay, good. And I just like to mention right now that the videos that we're looking at can be found on YouTube. There's a lot of other videos about the Batiste family and what they're doing across the world, and that can be found at Life Pulse New Orleans. Once again, that's Life Pulse New Orleans, and Bryant Johnson does a great job with his team of putting together those videos of what's happening, because there's so much rich video in your family. I'll never forget, I don't have that clip, but even Jon Batiste had spent time in South Africa as a result of the work of Damon, and also Wynton Marsalis. There's a great video that I hope to share in the future of Wynton, that he basically gives some great advice to young people about the significance and the purpose of music and utilizing music as a discipline to live a good, constructive life. And so that's what I love about what I found out about the Batiste family, about your pouring into community, working with other musicians and everything. You guys spread the love, as far as I can see. You share the platform.
Yeah, well, it has never been, one of the things about the family and my sons, nobody never had that starstruck ego sort of thing happening. We always just love the music. We love playing the music. We love entertaining the people. We love to see the people enjoy what we're doing. And so what you see is, as Flip would say, what you see is what you get. It's from the heart. And it's no joke. We're gonna keep it real.
Yes, and as I said, you're doing it around the world, and a lot of it is the result of NOSACONN, which is the company that Damon started, New Orleans, South Africa Connected, and I think that is very significant. Once again, that's NOSACONN. Yes. And it's really significant, that word connection. You are connecting New Orleans and South Africa. But not only New Orleans, there's a lot of work that the Batiste family is doing, spreading healing. As a matter of fact, I remember reading a piece by you about you that said that music is a healing force. Share with us a little about that, your thoughts on that.
Jon, my nephew, he excuse me for moving this around, y'all. So, because I'm trying to get situated, but where we are, there we go. So it makes you feel good. Even the blues, people thinking, oh, we got the blues, oh Lord. No, the blues make you feel good. All the people that I travel with, such as Bobby Bland and B.B. King and Lil Johnny Taylor, Z.Z. Hill, Lil Milton, some of the blues artists that I perform with, it's a healing factor. It makes people feel good. And so that's one of the things that we send off, the vibes of feeling good. And a lot of writers that wrote, man, said, y'all look like y'all having so much fun on the stage. Yeah, because we are. And it's not a put on. It's not, we're gonna, our shows are almost natural. We don't almost have to plan for a show. It comes natural, for my son Russell to be who he is, for Damon to be who he is. My son Jamal, You mentioned Chadwick Boseman. My son Jamal was handpicked by Mick Jagger to star as John Jabro Starks in the life and story of James Brown. So if you saw the story of James Brown, you saw another one of my sons, Jon Batiste. He starred as John Jabro Starks in that movie with Chadwick.
Wow. Wow. I'll tell you, the roots run deep and everything. And speaking of that and talking about healing and also the power of not only music, but food, there was work that you guys, NOSACONN did recently in the Ivory Coast. Let's check that out.
Yes.
Et c'est une opportunité spéciale que nous avons tenu à célébrer en organisant cet événement ce soir. Il y a encore bien d'autres éléments qui accompagnent la présence du chef Ré ici en Côte d'Ivoire et nous aurons l'occasion d'en parler dans le biais d'après. Donc, merci d'être venu. Nous espérons que vous apprécierez cette soirée comme il se doit. Merci.
Il y a une volonté de venir mettre en place une véritable synergie entre la Nouvelle-Orléans, la ville et l'État pour pouvoir permettre à des jeunes Ivoiriens, des jeunes chefs de pouvoir partir, se former là-bas et envoyer des jeunes Américains ici apprendre la cuisine ivoirienne.
Avec plus de 30 ans d'expérience dans l'industrie de la restauration et les leaderships éducatifs. Son expertise est dans l'éducation culinaire, l'éducation nutritionnelle, en tant que chef exécutif, la gestion des services alimentaires sous contrat, la restauration et la planification d'événements.
Directly related here to Africa. And as you know, the slaves came to New Orleans in 1699 and they bought gumbo. But what happened was we couldn't grow okra. So the okra was removed.
Merci beaucoup, Dr. Ray.
What I love about Dr. Vivian Ray is the fact that she has started several culinary programs at historically Black colleges. And she is one of those unsung heroes who has made a difference in young people's lives that are now major chefs, that are running restaurants, that are in hotels and doing a lot of great work. And so I just commend once again the Batiste family and your just ingenuity of taking music and combining it with food in this particular case and making a difference for the people that are going to be going through that program from Nicholls State to also to the Ivory Coast. And what was beautiful about that too is there was Alfred Zibby you noticed him in there, and he was recently at the Pan-African Film Festival with one of their films from the Ivory Coast, A Ticket at Any Cost. So Damon was stirring up all of that. So as we're having celebrating the Music Month, Black Music Month, we're celebrating Juneteenth, and we're also celebrating father and sons through Father's Day. I just like to say my hat is off to the Batiste family. You guys are making music in more than one way and impacting the lives of people and everything. So, you know, what do you think about the next generation and the kinds of things that you were doing, and talk a little bit about your sons that are in music? We've talked about Damon, and you mentioned Jamal, you mentioned Russell. Who else should we be talking about?
Well, my son Ryan and Jamal and I did a love song in the movie The Princess and the Frog. We had a small side cameo appearance for the love song "Never Knew I Needed" by Neil in The Princess of the Frog. Yeah, and Ryan is my last of 7 sons. He is a school teacher, graduated from Dillard University, graduated from NOCA. Also, he graduated from Louis Armstrong Jazz Camp, and he tours the world as his artist. It's Ryan Shagadelic. So you can Shaggy, yeah, you could pull that up. Ryan Shagadelic on Instagram, on Facebook. And he's a very talented young man. And I just became a grandfather too with Ryan.
Wow, congratulations. Girl,
yeah, we had a little boy. Yes. A little chocolate, we call him Chocolate Bar.
Chocolate bar, that's adorable.
Yes.
Yet another generation. That is just really wonderful and everything.
Giving back is the best way.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to give one other example. It's education and music combined as we look at Senathium from Senegal that was brought to New Orleans by NOSACONN as well. And he visited one of the schools. So I think we should take a look at some of that
Absolutely.
Right now and everything.
Said I woke up to the summer shining through, calling out my friends asking what's the move. Feeling a little different, I'm on something new. Today, I ain't gonna let no clouds get in my way. The only road I'm walking is the one I pick. Catch me sitting in the sun, no time for shade. Today. This is the day that the Lord has made. And I ain't gonna let it slip away. I'm gonna be joyful. Yes, I am. I'm gonna be joyful. Today, I'm gonna be joyful. Ooh, I'm gonna be joyful.
Well, my name is Senator Thiam, Amadou Thiam, and I'm here from Senegal, which is in West Africa. And it's a former French colony that's been independent since 1960. I'm excited to be here because even though this is a 10th grade class, my son who's 14 is in 9th grade. And he's a little bit taller than I am, 6'6". And he's playing ball, and hopefully he'll get to enjoy this as a passion. But again, the sport is a passion, but the studies would really be, what would accomplish, I believe, a person because he could play ball or be in track and get injured, and then that's the end of it. But with the studies, at least he has the opportunity to go on with his life. With a successful career. And I think that even the conversation has to start now. When I come back to New Orleans, hopefully you'll be in class and I'll be able to see how we can connect you with some of the students there in some of the schools. But I'm going to leave you now, and with just one particular expression which is very common in Senegal. And when people leave, usually from a gathering, they say jam ak jam. Can you guys repeat that? Jam ak jam? Peace and peace. Which is goodbye.
All right, yep. Today I had a quick coffee tea break with Jon Batiste, who is class of 1986.
And we're doing a project with music, arts, culture. So take advantage of people like this gentleman when it comes to your school.
He is of the Batiste family, Jon Batiste family, that is, in the music world. And he had 2 great visitors with him. Not only did he do 1 class, this is his 2nd class, and it brings him great pride and joy to be able to see you young men represented as scholars.
What I see as I'm looking at that, David, and I feel like I should say Mr. David, Sir David.
Just call me David.
Yeah, the royal family from the Nola's royal family of music. I should call you Sir David. You know, I see cultural ambassadors at work. So it is just really, you know, just amazing because I saw inspiration in that piece. I saw the exchange of knowledge. I saw, you know, just a lot of depth. There's more than meets the eye in what I saw in that video. As a matter of fact, I heard you say Royal Knights. So tell us a little bit about the Royal Knights.
Yeah, St. Augustine, I was introduced to St. Aug once again through Dad. I call my father a genius. He had set a path for us that we had no idea that he had already set that path for us to be on. And John was going to a Catholic school called Holy Rosary, which was a former St. Aug, but it was in Lafayette. And it was a private boys' school, Catholic school. And then when John came in, he went to public school for a little bit, and then St. Aug. Because him and I played football at John H. Martin for a brief time together. And then he left Martin and got to St. Aug. So we've been doing that St. Aug thing since I think John graduated maybe in 1963, somewhere up in there, that neighborhood. And so he was the first one.
When you say John, you're not meaning
my older brother John.
Your brother John.
Yeah, my father's name is John J. Jeffrey Batiste Sr. He's the one who started the music in this particular Batiste family, John J. Jeffrey Batiste Sr. And my older brother's named after my dad, Jon Batiste Jr. And so John and Dad brought John brought us to St. Aug, where he was going to school, to see the St. Augustine talent show. And man, did that blow my mind. I saw great musicians from like George French. If you Google George French, you'll see who I'm talking about. And this was in 1963, and that 62, before John graduated, 62. Wow, I'm bringing myself back. And so when we saw the talent show and John said, David, what y'all doing in the house, what you doing on the piano, y'all could be in this talent show.
Wow.
So John introduced us to being in the St. Augustine talent show, which we won. And it started with John, my dad. Once again, when I sit down and think about, my dad had 7 boys, and he has a vision for all 7 of us. So 4 of the boys went we got the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines.
Wow, really serving this country, God and
serving the country, yes.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about family. I think it's the perfect time for us to take a look at a video from Family Girl that occurred just a few months ago. So
we did that. We was with Sister Sledge on that.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Sister Sledge, a group that won American Idol called A Girl Named Tom, and also Alice Hart from the group Hearts.
Great. Well, we're going to look at what you guys put together for us, what Life Pulse put together for us with Family Girl.
Go for it.
The economic impact of Carnival season is critical to the New Orleans region, and for Jefferson Parish, one of the biggest events making a difference is Family Gras.
Well, the Carnival fun is in full swing in Metairie with the annual Family Gras event. Several musical acts hit the stage, including David Batiste, Girl Named Tom, and Ann Wilson. Tomorrow you can catch live performances by Amanda Shaw, Lauren Elena, and Martha McBride. The fun kicks off starting at 1 p.m.
Keep talking. Thank you, Russell. Check, check. 1, 2, check. Happy Mardi Gras, everybody. Check.
Come on, everybody to the stage, bro. Good time.
Let me hear the vocals from the speaker.
Everybody come in for a minute. Everybody come in. And I actually want to say, God, give us a beautiful day. We got a story thing happening. These 6-story ladies, 6 slaves, but they're women pioneers. But we are pioneers too. Jon Batiste is up, our nephew. My nephew is up for 11 Grammys. He won an Oscar. I bought his daddy his first bass, his first amplifier. John's father is playing down the street with the rest of my brothers. You gotta like it, you know? So this is the story, and I know we're gonna kick. Come on, grandbaby. This is the Batiste family. This is David Batiste family. I'm 75 years old. I'm older than anybody in here.
Amen.
Come on, 1, 2, 3.
Family.
I
got all my sisters with me.
I got all my family.
This is Rich. Like I said, this is Rich. Family all over it. So we really appreciate your being on Live Talk at SFBFF.
Oh, this is a pleasure to be here.
Yes, definitely. You know, we're focusing on the BFF now, Sir David. So that means best friends forever. So you're going to be having to hang out with the San Francisco Black Film Festival. Speaking of which, I heard in the grapevine that you guys have a documentary coming up.
Yes, we actually have a couple of them. We have one about myself that tells the story about how, you know, from my perspective, from David's perspective, on how I got started in this, and then it grew from that point to where we are now for myself. And then my dad, it's a little tease, because I keep calling that man the genius. That's what you want to see. We got that coming out soon, a great production, a great crew, and it's going to tell a story about my father that people are going to see over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's all about family and making a difference and everything.
And my dad made a difference. And this piece it's exciting. It's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you cry. It's all of that.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm excited to be hearing more about what you guys are going to be doing. Unfortunately, I'm sorry Damon wasn't able to join us, but you know, I want people to take a look at NOSACONN.
Yes.
That's NOSACONN. NOSACONN.
Yes.
Okay. .com, and you can find out more. You can Google Damon Batiste, Google David Batiste, and you're going to see a lot of great information that's going to come up. And I'm excited because I'm not going to hold you to having the San Francisco Black Film Festival premiere your documentaries, especially the one about your dad.
They want this. Look, you let them know they want this.
You know, I don't know how soon it's going to be ready, but Sir David, but I think definitely we got to play it at some time on Father's Day. You know, at the next festival, if we can't have it for this festival, 2022, then the next festival, we got to have it on Father's Day, even if we premiere it before that. But I know probably some of the film festivals like Sundance and all of the others will be grappling for that.
They're going to be grabbing, you know, because when you stop and think about it, just a moment. When Jon Batiste bought that piano to the Batiste family in 1945, that started everything to where we are right now. That genius of my dad. And then, you know, Dad, he had to raise 7 of us, 7 boys, 7 African-American men in a turbulent time.
Yes.
Listen, we won first place at the Apollo Theater in 1965. First place. We knocked out the first place winner, had been winning for 4 weeks, and we smoked him. We did our own song called Do You Feel All Right? And our lead singer, his name was William McGee. The man sounded like Sam Cooke.
Wow.
And he had the soul of Sam Cooke. He come from the McGee brothers. His brother George was the first drummer in David Batiste and the Gladiators, a drummer and a singer. And he introduced me to his brother that's, you know, out of the group, McGee brothers that sang. They sung gospel, sanctified gospel. Wow. When you got through listening to them, you were either crying or dancing. One of the two. It's one of the two. You might be doing both. You might be crying and dancing at the same time, feeling good. So
yeah, I feel a little of that
by the
too.
name
I
of
feel
Stanley
like
Ratcliffe. That story. That's Stanley Ratcliffe on our drums. My brother Paul played guitar. John's daddy and the rest of my brothers was too young to come into the Apollo.
Wow, amazing, amazing.
The story that my dad had driving us from New Orleans in 1965 and driving from New Orleans to New York in 1965, grab that. What was happening in 1965 in the African-American people?
Yes.
Edmund Pettus Bridge.
Yes.
Malcolm X.
Yes. A lot of history in your family and the things that you went through as you were celebrating music. So we can't wait for that documentary.
Yes.
You know, and I have to take in consideration of your time. I know you have other things to do, and I am so.
I appreciate being here.
I guess we'll have to talk to Damon some other time. We'll have to have him on, but we're going to, I guess, close out live talk at SFBFF. And we are going to do so with a film of some of the work that Damon has done. So I want to thank you very much. Okay, you want to hear a little bit? Are you going to give us a little bit of that?
That's another tease. I'm going to wait for y'all to get ready for that. I'll wait for y'all to get ready for that. When y'all see John play that instrument again, it's called the melodica. As I was teaching the kids, melodica.
Okay.
Right, it brings people together.
Great, great. So I want to thank you so very much for joining me and everything live talk at SFBFF, Cree Ray, Callie Ray, and Cree Ray. I know they are just going to be over the top thrilled with this family story that we are going to be sharing, and especially with the possibility that we might have first dibs on your documentaries that are going to be coming out. So,
oh yes,
David,
and we're going to be celebrating my 75th birthday in September.
Yes.
Yeah, I started when I did that Sister Sledge gig. I told everybody I'm 75. I've started the party already.
Wow. Wow. So thank you so very much. We're going to end with some work that Damon has done in South Africa with the CAF Film Festival for people to view. And I would just remind people that the San Francisco Black Film Festival is June 16th through 19th. And it's always during Black Music Month and Juneteenth and Father's Day. And to you, Sir David, happy Father's Day to you. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless. And everybody stay safe. Let's look out for our children. Look out for the elderly. Look out for our beautiful ladies such as yourself. I have 7 daughters, so I have the utmost respect for young ladies as yourself. Appreciate your work, Jackie. Appreciate your work with my son, Damon.
Thank you very much. And with that note, we're going to leave out with this video. Thank you.
Your village to mine. That's how I'll send you the internet.
Exactly. And I'll tell you that actually was from a township in not Johannesburg, but Durban. And it's a half film festival that Damon was a part of. And people should Google and find out more. And like I said, go to Life Pulse New Orleans and you can get more information and everything. And I must thank our producer, John Chen.
Yes, myself. Yes, he's been great.
Because if I had been manually doing this, it would have been a wreck, let me tell you. So thank you so very much, John. And thank you once again. And we're going to sign off for Live Talk at SFBFF. Mwah.
Au revoir.
Thank you for attending the performance. And a special thanks to all those who helped with the show.
Produced by Engaging Virtual Meetings.